Alright guys, there's your one and only warning. Just letting you know, I do talk a shitload on this video too. You guys know I love to talk about figures and displays, man. So if you guys don't fuck with that, you guys don't like that shit, just go ahead and skip to the pictures. I don't really give a fuck. As long as you give me that view, drop a like. Alright, let's get this shit started. Alright guys, this is the first shot of the month. I've been a little bit from My Hero Academia hype, man. I've been catching up to the episodes. I'm currently in season 5, halfway through it, and I'm trying to get up to date, man. What better way to feed that hype than by taking a few shots and cracking open this Todoroki. First impression of the Todoroki, man. I like the figure. You know, it's not the greatest in the line. I still appreciate it, man. It's a really nice figure. Just the amount of accessories it comes with, I think that's what kind of sold it for me. And he's just one of the big three, man, from My Hero. Some cons with the figure, I guess, is well, let's do the pros first. I think Rebel Tech has really improved on its engineering, man. Todoroki can literally stand straight, and he does not have those ugly Rebel Tech joints anymore. I think the days of the ugly Rebel Tech joints are gone, man. Rebel Tech has really improved on their figures. You know, still same range of movement, same articulation, those crazy poses you can pull off, and they have added the aesthetic, man. I still think that Rebel Tech's My Hero Academia line is probably the best line in Rebel Tech right now, man. You know, I have a Rebel Tech Wolverine and pretty much most of the Rebel Tech from My Hero, and I still think that My Hero Academia is just, you know, animation, art style, and just their body molds kind of allow for the aesthetic to flow, and, you know, people can't complain no more, man. You can't be one of those guys that says that you don't get Rebel Tech just because they look ugly, man. Those days are gone. The Rebel Tech today is going to be aesthetic, beautiful figures, superb articulation, man. And that's what this figure represents. Accessories, like, tell me what other line gives you, you know, 3 ice effects, man. 3 fire effects, a bunch of faces, you know, 2 different types of hair, and a bunch of hands, man. This figure really knocked that out of the park, man. My first impressions is, you know, I'm impressed, man. It's still not my favorite from the line, like I think I mentioned. You know, I still think that Deku is probably my favorite from the line. Second would be a tie between this guy and Bakugo, man. Deku still looks the best to me, moves the best, but this guy is definitely a well spot in the contender for the spot of you know, within the line. You know, he's just a good figure, man. Some cons with this figure, you know, I just don't appreciate how hard the pegs are, man. It's a little difficult to switch out the hands, a little difficult to switch out the hair, even difficult to switch out the ice pieces, man, and attach them to the figure. Sometimes you feel like you're gonna snap the peg, so just be a little careful with that. And mine came a little loose, man. That's kind of a Yamaguchi thing too. They tend to get loose at the tie swivels. You know, it happened with my Wolverine, it happened with my Deku, it happened with my Bakugo. I guess I might just have bad luck, but that's kind of an experience I've had with these figures, man. Other than that, this figure kills it, man. You know, he poses amazing, looks amazing. I love it, man. It is amazing Yamaguchi, right? So yeah, man, for this shot, other than that, I kind of had 2 key lights, man. You guys can see right here in the corner, I did have that cool kind of hue on the fire, man. You guys will be able to see on the shot. I wanted really for the fire to shine, right, compared to the ice. So I wanted really to give that kind of effect of, you know, glowing only from one side. And in the background, we got 78 style, man. I think I'm overusing it at this point. Let me know in the comments if I should probably switch it up, man. I keep using the same background when it comes to buildings, you know, especially the 78 style is really beautiful, but I think it's about time I gotta switch it up a bit, right? Been using it a little too much. Other than that, man, yeah, that was the shot. This another thing kind of that I wish Yamaguchi would do is give us some villains, man. We need those damn villains. They're lagging, man. We can't keep getting heroes with no villains. I'm getting tired of, you know, pairing, you know, my students, like the students here with Marvel Legends, man. I got some Hydra goons here. I'm not really the biggest font. That's why I kind of have him out of focus in the shot. You guys will see. Just to kind of represent some random goons. But man, I don't know. We need some villains in here, man. I'm tired of seeing on Instagram too, having, you know, Todoroki or Bakugo or Deku fighting, you know, the Rhino or Shocker or even Bullseye, man. We need some villains in this line. And yeah, on to the next one. Real quick, this is what I mean by overall it looks better, man. Just in a vanilla pose, they're starting to look a little more, you know, presentable, man. Amazing Yamaguchi has overall really improved on their figures and kind of figured out a good way to make them look natural and, you know, aesthetically in a dynamic, in a natural vanilla pose. So real quick here, guys, I'm gonna add that's what it looks like next to Bakugo. So overall, man, I think these guys, you know, I think it's still a little bit of an improvement over Bakugo, but I still kind of like how they both look together. And I'll go ahead and add the comparison of the Wolverine right here, man. So yeah, you see how overall the Wolverine is still an older figure, man. He looks just blocky. I mean, I know Wolverine naturally is supposed to be blocky, but overall, I still think that Todoroki is definitely an improvement on the engineering of Amazing Yamaguchi. I mean, I still have a little bit of few cons. Like, I don't like how his belt's sticking out. Everything I've done, I haven't really been able to make it sit flush. And his knees too, man. But that's just an Amazing Yamaguchi thing. At least it's better than Wolverine's knees. They've really improved the knees. They added ball joints instead of this kind of just like swivels. So yeah, man, definitely an improvement on this figure. It looks amazing too. Great sculpt. Alright guys, real quick, this is another shot I got going for this month, man. Probably the second shot, I believe. I don't know, man. I tend to lose count sometimes, but yeah, it's been a minute since I've you know, had this figure. I've had it for a while. It was I think an SCC exclusive, and I was able to snag them real quick, you know, be able to pick it up. And you know, it's been on my hit list, man. I guess as a photographer, and you know, as I mentioned, I try to bring you guys a perspective from someone who, you know, does photography rather than just collects or reviews, right? So from a photographer's perspective, he's a little tight. You know, he's a Mezco. His suit, earlier Mezco, so his suit is not the greatest, but you know, he's still getting the job done, getting this shot started. And overall, man, I think it did a pretty good job. The idea here, I was trying to convey him just have stolen the Batman Beyond suit, man, based on the White Knight, and you know, he's overlooking the old Gotham, you know, looking for revenge, and we got Neo Gotham in the background, man. Yeah, a little cool effect I did was having this red light down here, the Ulanzi light. I was able to set it up to the point that it's almost shining on his eyes, if you guys notice. So he has almost that red-eyed looking, menacing as hell in the darkness. Yeah, man, 2 key lights for this aspect of the shot. These guys were definitely my greatest source of light. I had both this light over here and the light over here on the lowest settings I could get them, just because I didn't want them, you know, because he is like an all blacked out figure. The white light just kind of looks really harsh on him, man, when you shoot it from the front. So I just wanted to give it that real nice rim lighting and kind of portray this idea of, you know, darkness and old Gotham, but still having almost the red hue effect that you get in the animated series, man. If you guys, you know, you guys pretty sure you've seen the Batman Beyond series, he's always kind of in the shadows with just the red outlining his suit. And that was kind of the idea I wanted to portray here. But yeah, man, this is the beginning of these shots. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. Probably you guys seen it in the title already, but I'll figure it out. But yeah, man, and I'm breaking out these little effects, man. I got it a while back. This is the NECA effects. This thing is so huge, but the good thing is that it's modular, so you can break it apart. So here I'm having it almost like a rooftop, right? I'm not fully using it. It is a fucking nightmare to use. You know, I would prefer anything else over this, but this is what I got right now, building at my little city. So yeah, man, I'm excited to mess with this figure a little more. Another quick shot here, guys. Just trying to switch it up a little bit. trying to make it seem like he's testing the suit, you know, kind of seeing how the suit works, taking out a battery by accident, some stuff like that, man. It's, you know, it's year one for Terry. He doesn't really know how the suit works. He just stole it, so just trying something different. Alright guys, this is the last shot for the little Batman Beyond photo shoot. Just wanted to surprise, you know, the viewers a little quick with, you know, actual Bruce Wayne showing up, man. Taking a lot of inspiration from the Batman Beyond the White Knight. So yeah, man, actually this is the first time I crack open the Batman Mezco, the Mezco Batman from what is it called? It's Ascending, Sovereign, and Supreme. So yeah, man, there's the Supreme Batman, and actually it's the first time I crack him open, and it's the first time I'm actually shooting him, man. I can safely say, like, well, it might not be the favorite version of Batman that everybody wants. It's definitely the best version Mezco has, man. This thing is just articulates way better than the second version and the first version. And it's just, it feels a lot more durable. The material's a lot more durable. The accessories are maybe a little better in my opinion. And it's just the fact that they included that wired cape is superb, man. So yeah, overall this Batman is definitely killing, man. I'm glad I actually picked it up. So I was on the fence about it just because I already had the two, but fuck it. I guess I do have a reason to use them now, right? Other than that, man, just wanted to say that, you know, a lot of times a lot of people don't really see the potential of toy photography to tell a story, man. I know, you know, a lot of people like to tell stories through their photography. I know a guy from, well, I don't know him personally, right? But I know Surin R, who I follow on Instagram, loves to do that shit, man. And, you know, it's just the potential to tell your own stories through photography is something that's really great in my opinion, man. You know, you get a chance to, you know, build your own world, build your own, you know, canon, build your own stories, and it's the power that toy photography has, man. So, I mean, photography in general, man, you know, the power to tell your own stories through photography, it's a big thing, and definitely excited to explore that potential and, you know, explore that idea. Is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I think I'm gonna start with these guys. I've been doing it for a minute, you know, but I think telling a concise, long story through your Instagram is, you know, a nice, interesting new take on things, and something I'm excited to try and just mention it here, man. So you guys probably haven't picked it up. This is the beginning of a story I would like to tell through Instagram, and I guess I'll give it a try, man. You always have to experiment with your photography, and I think you know, the DC universe is a perfect place to do it, in my opinion. I'm just a DC universe guy, so dope shots, man. All right. Have a little bit of a posting sesh going on. You know, sometimes when you're out of ideas, man, or just low on creativity, it always helps to grab two random figures, man, and just kind of start messing around, man. Just try to hit different poses and just see what comes in, man. Sometimes you hit a blank, but posing a little bit always helps me personally. So I guess that's a tip I could go ahead and give you guys when you guys are low on ideas on what you want to shoot. Just grab two figures that you really like to mess around, man, really like to pose with, and give it a try and see how it comes out. Alright guys, I got part 2 of the posting sesh. The posting sesh is kind of almost like a mini series I got running on my Instagram, man. I tend to just kind of post my figures, have fun with it, and add music, man, just because Instagram is pretty music friendly when it comes to your stories. So something I like to have fun. It's an area where I like to, you know, I like to be a little more creative, a little more, you know, a little more out of the box when adding music, and just kind of having fun with the posting sesh. Not to worry about having a good background or props or anything. Just you on your desk, man, having fun, you know, reminding you why you collecting this hobby, man. Why we collect action figures to play with our figures, man. So another thing I like to do is kind of use a little bit of references. So here I got a little reference from issue 54 of Avengers and give it my own little twist to it. A little continuation of the posting slash. Something real quick right here. Really wanted to give that vibe that they're kind of evenly matched. And either one can really get the upper hand, man. We got two tested warriors going at it.
Nice.
Alright guys, so this is my mini haul for this week, man. I finally got that Conan in. You know, we've been waiting for him for about a year since we pre-ordered it in January. And he was actually my first Mezco figure I ever pre-ordered directly from the site, man. And like I said, we waited a year for him, and the wait was definitely worth it, man. You can ask anybody in the Discord, on Instagram, anywhere, man. I was definitely impatient for this figure, man. You know, I was super excited for him. You know, I missed out on the first release, so you know, seeing that they were gonna re-release essentially the figure with new accessories and a lot of cool stuff, it was a no-brainer for me to order right away. And well, the figure's here, man. I know you guys probably seen like thousands of reviews of him right now, so I'll probably, I won't be reviewing the figure. It's gonna be more of a quick first impression, first thoughts on this figure, so I'll definitely get into that. shortly. But first, let me go ahead and get into the second part of this haul, which is right here, Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, man, I actually got lucky with this figure. I know a lot of people had issues, so I'm trying to get him just because he was an Amazon exclusive and he was a little pricey for a Marvel Legends, man, especially with the whole, the whole problem with the pegs, and false advertisement, all that stuff I don't really want to get into. But I know that this figure definitely had some little notoriety behind him, man. And I was finally able to scoop him, man. As I mentioned before, I don't really like to spend a lot in Legends. I have a limit to it at this point. They're just not worth my time and my money. In my opinion, made for characters like this, it might be worth a little bit more your time and your money. But overall, man, I don't think you should be breaking the bank over Legends, especially Legends with packs, right? So that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And actually, funny story how I got this guy, man. I was actually trading a Mayfix Ezreal Batman, so Nightfall Batman. So I was able to kind of trade that guy in. I was able to have a little bit of trade, a little bit of money exchange, and this was part of that trade, man. So I'm definitely excited to have this guy finally in my collection for pretty cheap, man. If I'm being honest, paid definitely below retail, in my opinion. And I finally have this guy in my collection. Definitely a unique sculpt and a unique looking figure. I'm definitely excited to have him. Like I said, first impressions though, my only issue is that the neck is a double ball joint. So I believe it's just a ball joint in the neck, a ball joint in the head. Those dumbbell joints that don't really operate that well, in my opinion, and it kind of makes it difficult for him to articulate, especially with those tentacles around his neck, man. And overall, the figure just feels a little rough, man. As a Marvel Legends, it just feels rough. I mean, I can't expect much from Marvel Legends at this point. I understand, they're domestic figures, so they're gonna feel the way they feel. Doesn't mean I hate Legends, man. I'm just not. I finally kind of realized that Legends is not the only line out there for you to collect when it comes to Marvel. So I'm pros for this figure, in my opinion. The Necro Sword looks really sick, man. In hand, the effect just looks amazing. It's real cool. And yeah, man, so that's all I really have to say about it. I need to mess a little bit more with it, take pictures of them just to get a little more situated, my thoughts on it a little more digested, I guess. So that's just my opinion real quick. Now, moving on to the second part of the haul. Move this guy on the side. It's my boy Conan right here. Now, right off the bat, man, I'm just going to say I've been enjoying this figure a lot. The fun factor on this figure is crazy, man. It's crazy fun. This figure's just, it definitely does it for me, man. I'll be honest, just because it's Mezco, I'm not going to say that it's perfect. It's not. One of the things I'm not really a fan of is the shirt. The shirt is cool, but it's, in my opinion, it still doesn't feel stretchy enough for it to really come off and on, man. It's a really scary process to try to change out the shirt, or trying to take it off and put on different stuff on them. It is definitely a process. Another big one, and I know a lot of people have been hearing about this and talking about it, is that my right bicep swivel, so the figure's right bicep swivel, my left, your guys' left, came fused, man. So that thing does not budge. I know Bancho in the Discord, he actually put some oil in there and a little bit of heat, and he applied, and he was able to move it. But overall, in my opinion, it's not worth the try, man. I tried. I definitely did the boiling water process. I did the hair dryer process, and still it came to the point that the hand and the arm got so gummy but still wouldn't budge, man. It just wouldn't twist. So I saw a few people on Facebook break their toy. I didn't want to go to the risk of that after waiting a year for them, so I kind of just gave up on it, man. And coming from a photographer perspective, man, that's the thing I'm trying to give you guys here with this YouTube, just the perspective of someone who takes pictures, and poses his figures. That's a big bummer, man, because see the way he's posed here and over here, if you guys can see that his arm, this looks more natural, man. When he's just standing, his bicep turning in looks more natural to a standing figure than this one, kind of straightforward. And even the range of motion on the elbows, man, that's another con, in my opinion. While it still kind of serves the purpose of what it needs to do, I still would like to see those double jointed elbows like we saw in the Death Leader, man. I mean, it might have been too much to ask for. Hopefully the King Conan, once it is released, does come with those double jointed elbows, but the moment, man, that's all I have. Well, the fused, bicep swivel doesn't need to be exactly there. It helps when it comes to, trying to get a little more than 90 degrees on the joint. The elbow, I mean, a little more than 90 degrees on the elbow joint. The elbow still has a swivel in it, so it's not the end of the world. I might try again later, try to fuse that bicep, but at the moment, that's definitely a QC issue I've been seeing a lot across all the Mezco Conans, man. Now to the pros, man. I mean, I actually want a little bit more calm before I go. The necklaces, man. The necklaces bug me because they don't lay down flush, man. When you first get the figure, they tend to just kind of like stand in the way. They kind of like just tend to kind of get in the way that it's like almost like floaty, which it's floaty. It's a floating necklace, which I don't appreciate. But hey, man, it's a nitpick at this point, if I'm being honest. The pros on the figure, the sculpt is amazing. He just, the soft goods are pretty good, man. He comes with a lot of stuff. Like, if I can go ahead and show you guys right here, he comes with like a few capes that I've gone ahead and moved into this plastic. He comes with a few capes with them, a few different like skirts, some it's almost like some pelts for his like wrist. It looks really cool, man. I've seen a few pictures. I still need to try those out. And he comes with a bunch of accessories, man. It's just, he comes with a lot of cool shit, man. A bunch of heads. That helmeted head is just a really cool add-on. These two, the axe and the sword. He comes with that little chain. If I was being completely honest, I do kind of hate this little damn chain, man. It comes off so easy, and I feel that his sheet just hangs out a little too low, in my opinion. But other than that, it's an amazing figure, man. Really having fun with it. I've been really getting into the whole Conan mythos. I've read almost all of the Dark Horse comics. I've read mostly of the Marvel comics. I still need to get into the books, man, but I'm definitely in for this mythos of, Hyborian Age. So I'm excited, man. It's been a figure that I've been most anticipated figures of 2023. It was one of my most anticipated figures of 2022, man. But definitely, now that it's here, it's definitely gonna be in my top 10 of 2023. I'm calling it now. But yeah, man. Unfortunately, like I said, we're all having that issue with the fused bicep swivel. It really sucks. Maybe one day I'll get, I'll be brave enough to unfuse it. But at the moment, man, I'm just really loving this figure, man. Just the articulation, man. The way he just kind of, he's able to really hit those really badass poses. I'm trying to do this on the camera, but he's really able to hit those badass poses of him just kind of kicking ass, man, in the Hyborian Age. So I'm definitely enjoying this figures, man. And I think I'm about to break one of my rules, man. And that's, I try not to shoot the figures that are most popular on Instagram, just flooding the page. But I think this guy definitely deserves a little bit of love right away. So I'm gonna see how many shots I can get out of him, man. But yeah, that's the haul. Alright guys, real quick, this is the dirt shot of the month, I believe. Yeah, man. Probably not gonna put this one on Instagram. I'm gonna make this one a little exclusive for the YouTube video, but for the episode. But other than that, man, I took off the shirt on Conan, man, and kind of gave him the loincloth, and just kind of wanted to give him what I'm calling the caveman look for Conan, man. This shot is mainly inspired by Primal, just being out in the wild, trying to survive. We have a giant moose here trying to take out Conan, and Conan needs to eat, man. So he's going ahead and facing it head on. Yeah, man, really liking this shot. Really having fun with this Conan. Alright guys, there's a second part to that shot, man. Having a little more fun with this Conan, dude. I'm just telling you, this thing is really fun, man. Still kind of putting my thoughts together on how I feel about the figure. Still, the more I mess around with it, the more my ideas kind of set in and just kind of give me an overall look at them. So, so far I'm having fun with it, man. Another one of, inspired by Primal, man. The idea that, he's defending here the moose, his hunt from these raptors, man. It's such an inspiration. They even have some of Totoski's art back there, man, from Primal, just to kind of give the idea of almost a forest, man. But yeah, just, having a little fun, trying to see if these guys are gonna get added to that necklace, man. Conan's been around, man. No raptor's gonna try to take him down. So yeah, man, more to Totoski's art style, I had an interesting idea too, man. Like, for this shot, I really wanted to recreate almost the hue of the forest, man. So what I did is I actually used this Ulanzi light to shine like a green hue under the figures and then almost onto the raptors, man. Another thing is I did also shoot this shot really low because the idea behind the shot was kind of, you know, in the symmetric of it, you know, the symmetry of it, sorry, symmetric, the symmetry of it, I wanted to kind of incorporate this idea of, in, you know, the shot of like the predator defending his prey from pretty much anybody who try to steal it, man. And usually when it comes to this shot, you usually have either a cougar or a tiger just looking way more imposing on top of the prey, right? Looking like this big animal who's about to take down the little, you know, the little vultures trying to get his shit, man. But right here, so I kind of wanted to give that same illusion for Conan, man. Conan in this case is the, you know, the predator, in his full instinctive kind of almost just in survival mode, man, and he's fighting off these predators right here. So I guess in this analogy, Conan is the lion or the tiger itself defending it from the smaller predators in the area. And yeah, man, you know, it kind of also gives me a little bit of Turok vibes, you know, from back in the day. I played that a lot on the N64, so big fan of Turok, man. Even the remake on the PS3, had a lot of fun on that one too, but just killing out these shots. All right, man, rambling on enough. Prime example right here why you need those double jointed elbows, man. That gappage don't look right. And another prime example why you need bicep swivel. That's the bicep looking completely down does not sit right with me, man. But oh well, this is the best we can do with the figures we got, right? So got Conan right here kicking some ass. Pretty dope. Really starting to wish that this guy came with a screaming non-helmeted head, man. They definitely dropped the ball not giving us both, but I understand why. They're trying to differentiate them, I guess. But yeah, really wishing we had a non-helmeted screaming head, man. That would have been dope. Alright guys, after a few shots I've taken with the figure, you know, being able to kind of push the articulation to the limit, I finally kind of come to a conclusion on how I feel about this figure, man. Do I still have gripes? Yeah, you know, you guys have heard it through the process of me kind of going through it, you know, as a, you know, from a perspective of a toy photographer. There's a lot of things we wish a figure would have, right? We expected to not have a fused, you know, bicep, you know, we expected double jointed elbows. There's a lot of things we like, right? That we want, I guess is the right word. And sometimes we don't have it, but in this case, man, it doesn't affect, you know, how I feel about the figure, man. I would 100% still recommend it. The way just the sculpt looks, man, and just the scarring on the figure and just the overall look of the figure just pops with photography, and you know, I've had a lot of fun with it, man. You know, my gripes still stand about the clothing. I still feel the same. You know, I feel like they dropped the ball when it comes to the loincloth and the shirt, the material they used. But when it comes to the, you know, the cloaks, the material feels premium. It feels what Mezco usually does, right? Other than that, you guys, you know, you guys should probably go out and pick up this figure, man, if you still can. Just the articulation, everything about it still works. You can photograph it. The figure looks, it's so photogenic. It looks beautiful when you photograph it. And it's just a lot of fun, man. You know, photographers, what we really want is variety, great sculpting, great articulation, right? We feel like it's not a lot to ask for, but sometimes it is from companies. But I think even though with the little gripes and the little setbacks that this Conan came with, I think he definitely checked all the boxes. The variety of you know, stuff he comes with just kind of gives us a lot of options. You know, it gets us excited about taking pictures of him with different looks. And you guys will definitely see him again in this episode, man. So yeah, go out and get this guy. Definitely a great piece in your collection. guys real quick. Another thing I forgot to mention on last episode is actually I picked up these little shoe boxes, man, from Walmart. So I think it was like 2 for $10. So I got 4 of them, and yeah, man, not a bad deal. You know, they work good for like storing figures and shit. Got a bunch of Star Wars Black Series and different Star Wars figures right here, and got a few Legends on this side right here. Let me go ahead and. So it's pretty dope, man. You can stack them up. It has like these little things right here where you can stack them up and shit. They're clear, so you can see exactly what you have in there. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to share this shit with you guys. If you guys are looking for something small and compacted to put your figures in, because I know, you know, a lot of us don't really have that much space. Just kind of want to show you guys something small that can be compacted, man. You know, if you guys are looking to just, you know, put away a few figures. I think it fits about, I want to say I put about 30 figures in there, maybe more. And yeah, man, just something small that I found at Walmart. Not a bad deal, man. You know, all clear. Good shit, man. Just something you guys should. Got myself a little bit of a Valentine's shout here, man. Really wanted to kind of have a power couple for this Valentine's inspired picture, man. The idea behind this was kind of have Daredevil jumping off the top of a building with Elektra as a, you know, a little army, pretty much a mini army of hand ninjas kind of come toppling down from the top of the building. You know, they've been kicking their ass. They've been handing it out to them. You know, the hand got nothing on the fist. Kind of the idea why I chose these two as the power couple as well. As one, you guys already know I'm a big Daredevil fan, and I've been kind of, you know, seeing all these shots of Daredevil and Elektra from the Chip Zdarsky run. I'm still reading on it. You know, I'm not up to date, but I'm definitely excited to see what you know, role they play when it comes to creating the fist and, you know, having the fist go up against the Punisher's hand. Another interesting thing I kind of wanted to play around was lighting, man. As you guys can see, the little purple hue on the left. Wanted to kind of create the idea of like neon signs on the bottom of the street, right? So it's kind of the light is bleeding a little bit up the building. Yeah, man. Another thing I kind of struggled a lot was the stand. The stand was a nightmare. I'm still waiting for those ACVA stands. I'm not sure when they're meant to arrive. Been waiting for a while still, but here I am, man. And those Figmas, SHF, all those damn stands, I can't. You know, no pun intended. I can't stand them, man. They're difficult to deal with. They don't clip right. They don't clip onto what I want them to clip. For this shot, I kind of had to pinch the clip between the thigh and the knee. So between the thigh and the knee, the clip is kind of pinched so it kind of stays stable. But you know, still waiting on new stands. If you guys have any area where you guys usually get stands, let me know. I'm trying to purchase some, so leave it in the comments below. Other than that, the Electra too, man, she's a little difficult to pose. You know, she's stiff all around, single jointed elbows. This is the best pose I could get her on to, you know, simulate the falling. She still kind of, you know, does her role as, you know, as a secondary character to Daredevil, but still, man, I would have loved for her to get a little more love, just because she's so acrobatic in the comics, man, and the figure definitely doesn't do it any justice. Other than that, yeah, I got a little Valentine's shot. These ninjas were also actually given to me by my girlfriend, so kind of staying in topic. I want to say I appreciate her. You know, I've really used these articulated ninjas a lot. She gave them to me about a year ago, and I'm still using them to these days, man. I love this figure. It's really well made, and you know, really well army builders and just goons to get their ass kicked. Really enjoying this shot. You know, creating the hue behind with the moon. You know, it's all about creating environments, man, and I think I did a pretty good job of creating an environment here. Other than that, you know, happy Valentine's, and I hope you guys enjoyed this shot, man. Go tell your significant other you love them. That's just a little reminder, man. Always let your loved ones know that you love them. Alright guys, let's go on to the next one.
Nice.
Alright guys, real quick, this was a package from Premium Bandai. I actually got Turles in, man. There's Tulis in the Japanese version. But yeah, man, excited to crack this guy open. I'm actually expecting Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 to be coming in this month as well. I was actually expecting them before Turles, man. Maybe I was mistaken, but I was under the impression that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 were supposed to be coming out before Turles. But here he is, man. So, you know, it's glory. Definitely excited to crack him open. I might not crack him open this episode just because I am running a little long. You know, it's already long, probably running a little longer than an hour at this point. But definitely excited to check him out. But alright guys, that was a package from Premium Bandai. I'm excited to crack this guy open. On to the next. Alright guys, this is going to be my first impressions on the Tulis figure. I usually don't like to do reviews on figures, man. It's not going to be a review. It's going to be an overview because I'm not a reviewer. You know, I don't know the technical terms. So if you guys looking for a review, this is not the section of the video you guys want to watch. I would recommend you go ahead and go look for an actual review. But this is just going to be my first impressions on the figure, man. Just because at this moment, by the time you guys probably see it, there will be multiple reviews out there. But at this current moment, there is no reviews out there, man. So the funny story is that I actually was expecting Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 in that package, man. I didn't really check the email. It turns out that Turles came in that package, man. And I don't see anybody really putting reviews up for him at the moment. And, you know, I've only seen a few pictures of him online. But other than that, man, I don't think anybody's really kind of going into the nitty-gritty of the figure. So I'll go ahead and give you guys my first impressions real quick. All right, let's get to the point of it, man. I'm going to start with the pros on it. You know, the head sculpt, if you guys can see it from the video, man, pretty self-explanatory. Not much to say there. Whole new head sculpt, man. It looks really good. It looks straight out of the movie. I still need to rewatch that movie, man. It's been a while since I've watched it. But if you look up reference pictures, man, that head sculpt is amazing. This head sculpt is really great, man. And just the way that they kind of sculpted the hair, man, it looks a little more natural. Like if you guys look at the past, you know, 1.0s, 2.0s, even the 3.0 Goku, man, his basic hair look doesn't look this good, man. It looks a little, how can I explain it? A little more 3D, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. It's just, it looks a little more natural when it comes to him, right? Other than kind of having that almost that 2D animation look. So I know some people might prefer that just because, you know, the animation and that's what you remember. You want it to be the closest to the manga or the animation. But I really like this new, I guess this new look they're giving to Turles. Another pro to it, man, articulation is great. You guys, you know, Tamashi Nations, you guys already kind of know what to expect. He can articulate really great. He's really fun to pose. He has a lot of fun factor, man. So I'm really enjoying the figure in that case. Now, another pro is probably, I'll show you guys, it's these shoulder pauldrons, man. So as many of you guys that kind of collect SHF know, that anybody in the same armor, at least from what I remember, man, I don't own the Doria yet, so I wouldn't be able to tell on that figure. But from what it looks like, and if I remember correctly, is that all of them are on hinges, the shoulder part. So when you set up kind of like a punching effect, or even like a, just kind of having a dynamic pose on the figure, man, it doesn't look good. It looks really awkward. It looks like the shoulder part just shoots up, man. And that's definitely not how it looked in the anime or the manga, man. So these updated shoulder quadrants, and I'm not really know what you want to call that joint. It looks almost like a hinge with a ball joint. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. Let me see. Yeah, like, let me put in the light. Maybe a little better. But yeah, this new joint, man, works really great. Like, let me show you guys. Just the fact that, like, he can be throwing a punch, man, and it looks natural. Like, if you set it up, like, look at that. Like, no other Saiyan armor character can really do that. If this thing would have been shooting up straight up at that point, but you can actually set up the punch and still make it look natural, man. So that's definitely a pro for me, man. It looks great. And if you're a customizer, you get a new body for a Saiyan armor without pauldrons, man. It looks really good. If you want to remove the pauldrons, I'm not, brave enough to do that. So maybe if I get a second one, I'll go ahead and try it out. But yeah, man, definitely another pro for the figure. Now let's get to the cons, man, because there are a few cons in this. So even though I'm really having a lot of fun with this figure, man, and my first impressions is that I'm having fun. So those are my first impressions, to be honest. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't have issues, right? If I'm being completely honest, there are quite a few issues on them, and it kind of sucks, but they're able to be overlooked, in my opinion. So one of the first issues I have is this joints right here. So if you noticed on all the joints, I hope it's coming through on the video, they're actually a bit discolored, man. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if because most of the skin color on him has kind of a wash. It kind of, they kind of dropped the ball there and they decided not to put the wash on the joint. It kind of almost looked like they painted the joints. It looked like it looks like they might have been a different color, and they just kind of decided to try and paint it a skin tone, but it didn't match. So that's on all the joints. So that's on the the knee, the double jointed knees, on the elbow joint, on the neck peg, everything a different color. That sucks, man. That's just kind of like a downer for me. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely a downer. Another thing that I kind of noticed is this guy right here, man. So if you guys seen the movies, you guys know there's multiple fruits, man, and it's just kind of, I just want a little more versatility, man. As a toy photographer, I like to push my figures to the limit, the joints, to see how far I can push it to get those poses. On that end, he does great, man. No issues there. Yeah, his leg popped off once on me, but it wasn't a big deal. It popped right back on. He articulates really well. He feels good. But this right here, the fruit from the tree of might is being attached to the hand is a big no-no for me, and it kind of kills it, man. But oh well. Like I said, it's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely one of the negatives in my opinion. And lastly, another negative is that the cape, man. So the cape is pretty cool. He looks amazing on it. It just hinders him like crazy, and it kind of sucks. I remember that I think it was the first version of Gohan came with that with the other cape, with the cloak, and it did hinder him a lot too. But I just kind of wish that we would have gone past that, man. I wish it wasn't a solid piece. Even an articulated cape, I would have preferred. But I mean, it is a negative, but I said it's not a deal breaker, man. I'm still enjoying this figure. He's really fun to pose. He's an overall improvement in my opinion. They only just dropped the ball on the quality control of him, and I think they could have done better in that case. But as a figure itself, you're gonna be posting the figure, taking pictures of him. He looks amazing, man. I'm really enjoying him, and I think he's definitely worth the money. What else can I do? It's not a review, so I'm not gonna go through all the accessories on him. I just kind of want to give you guys the pros and the cons. I still haven't taken pictures of him, so like I said, man, I can't give my final verdict on it. I think I'll have a little bit more of an understanding on him when I test him out with the photography, see how well he photographs, how well I can pose him even more. But definitely at this moment, I'm definitely really enjoying him, man. Another issue with them, you guys want to know, is that a lot of paint, came messed up in mine. So, you got a little paint scuffs around the skin and around the character and just on the armor. That's also a bummer. I don't know if it's only mine with a quality control, but that's also kind of a negative that I saw there. But see, even with all these negatives, I'm still enjoying the figure, man, just because I'm a Dragon Ball fanboy. So he's still super fun to pose, super fun to mess around with. He has fun factor off the charts. If I had to recommend him, probably, man, I'd definitely recommend this figure. All right, guys, let's mess around with him a bit. Alright guys, it's been another episode of Dynamic Saturday, man. I just want to go ahead and say real quick that I do appreciate all of you guys that stick all the way to the end to check it out, man. Hear me ramble about shit, just talk figures. It's mainly what this channel is about, as I usually mention. And as I mentioned, in the beginning of the video, I plan to almost rebrand the channel, man. When I started, as I probably said already, I try to be something that I was not. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm an amateur, man. I'm still learning. I don't know all the terms, all the photography lingo and all that good stuff. That's just not me, man. This channel is mainly for people that just want to, just hang out, man. Hang out, talk toys, pretty much kind of enjoy somebody else's collection, and like in this case would be my collection. Just kind of catalog this along with me, be on a journey with me as I just kind of get better at photography, man. And yeah, that's kind of the main idea behind it. As far as that goes, I've been working, been putting a lot into production. I guess that's the word. Still sounds funny for me to call this shit a production. It's mainly the idea that I'm trying to get better at editing, trying to get better at giving you guys a better experience, better everything. I'm gonna get some mics so you guys can hear me a little better. I mainly just record straight out of my phone, so that's why the recording is not that great. But I do have plans for this channel, man, and I hope to kind of get better at it, give you guys better editing, give you guys better everything. I hope you guys kind of figure out that the editing, or at least notice that the editing got way better in this video than the other ones before this. And just as I learn to edit and as I learn to kind of give you guys the best entertainment I can give you, while kind of giving myself a little bit of I guess, what is it, a file, or even like some kind of document that documenting my collection, I guess. Yeah, man. So as I said, I don't want this to be anything official or anything. Collecting is supposed to be fun, man. Just talking toys. So I would love to talk to toys with you guys in the comments. If you guys want to go down there, kind of comment and just anything, man. You guys want to interact with me, I would love it, man. That's what I have this channel for. It's just to kind of like put my photography forward, catalog the figures, talk figures, give my opinion. And it's an opinion from somebody that has no horse in the game, man. I don't have that many subscribers at all. I don't do it for the subscribers. I'm just having fun with these videos. As long as I have fun with these videos, I'll keep doing them. So it's probably as honest as it's gonna get on the internet for you, man. If I'm being completely honest, like, I got nothing to win, nothing to lose. I'm just doing this shit for fun. And the fact that I can give you guys my opinion, but sometimes we'll have bias, as I mentioned before, just because I like some figures and I like some lines. But I'm never gonna have, any bias towards a figure because I gain something from it. That's just not something you'll find in this channel. It's just a kid, man. I'm just a kid at heart playing with my fucking toys, and you know, recording and having fun doing photography and trying to learn to be better at it, right? So yeah, that's the main thing about this channel. You guys mainly hear me rant and talk shit and talk the same stuff back and forth, and sometimes I repeat myself. I've noticed that through the past videos. I don't know how any of you guys have not commented on that shit. Yeah, you guys, you know, I heard that YouTube used to be fucking ruthless. You guys would comment on shit and talk shit when I do stuff wrong, but I haven't still experienced that. But I mean, not that I want to, but I'm just saying, it's a different vibe, man. I'm still learning YouTube. You know, it's barely episode 6. So those of you that have stood, you know, here and kind of fucked with me through the whole thing while I learn and, you know, get better, even if it's boring sometimes, I appreciate you guys. Now I lost my trail of thought. Fuck, that happens a lot. I'm pretty sure you guys know already. What was I trying to say also? Oh yeah, with the whole editing thing, I'm trying to get better. I think I got better in this video, but I already mentioned that. As far as that goes, man, I just kind of wanted to show you guys this little Frazetta homage almost, or like inspiration I got with Conan. I'll leave you guys with this. I said some dumb shit towards the end, man. So mainly the whole point of this whole little ramble I did going off on rant. I mean, this little rant I went off on. I just want to say that, you know, the few you know, subscribers I do have, and that you guys had the heart to subscribe to me and just hear, you know, a guy talk toys on the fucking internet. I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I just want to say that it means a lot to me. You guys go ahead and leave a comment whether the time frame on the videos is good. So yeah, let me know. Well, you guys want shorter videos? The long videos are good. I'm thinking about bringing it down to 30 minutes. Just because these things tend to run an hour, just because I like to fucking talk and I love to fucking post many pictures. So if you guys don't like that shit, if you guys, you know, want something more concise, a little shorter, and just kind of more of a slide through the pictures real quick, let me know in the comments, man. And other than that, that's it, man. There's been another episode of Dynamic Saturday. You know, I appreciate you, as I keep saying, god damn it. And remember, guys, posing is king, lighting is queen. All right, guys, catch you later. I'm out of here.